The state law requires drivers to be 3 feet away from a bicyclist's handlebars or shoulders while passing on the road. Violators face fines of between $35 and $250. The law goes into effect in September of this year. Andy Hanshaw, executive director of the San Diego County Bicycle Coalition, and traffic officer Mark McCullough with the San Diego Police Department join me with details on how the law could impact cyclist safety. And welcome to Evening Edition.
Thank you.
Andy, let's start with you. What do you think about this 3 foot away law?
I think it's a good tool. It's another tool in a number of things that we can do to increase the safety of our bicyclists out there. And it will create 22 other states have a current law similar to this. And California's been pushing for this, or the bike advocacy community in the state has been pushing for this for about 5 years now, and it's the first time it's actually gone through all the way to the governor. And so we think it's going to be a good tool in combination with a lot of things that we're doing.
And Mark, what do you think? Do you think it goes far enough?
I think it's a good law. I think we are still going to run into the usual issues we have with any new law, the education, the how do we enforce it right away off the top, things of that nature, and the false sense of security it might give some, thinking that they've got that 3 foot bubble, when in all reality, sometimes it's up to the driver that's passing them what bubble they have.
And Andy, why do you think this law was needed if we have sort of this other laws already in effect?
There's been a safe passing distance law, but it was never clearly defined. And so particularly if there was a collision, it was a little harder to prove what that safe passing distance was. This is defined as 3 feet. If it's observed that there was a violation, then there's a tool for law enforcement to use to write a ticket or cite someone for that violation.
From a cyclist perspective, how are San Diego drivers doing right now in terms of driving safely around cyclists?
Well, I mean, it can always be improved upon. I mean, we want safety of everybody out there to be on the top of everyone's mind. So we think that there's been a heightened awareness for bicycling. There's been a lot of activity going on in our infrastructure and things that we're doing to improve conditions out there. Certainly we're working on those things. And we think there's been a heightened awareness for bicyclists that are out there because we have such a perfect place to ride year-round. We've got a growing community of networks and bike plans that are being built out on the regional and local levels, and people are wanting to ride. So we think it's getting better.
And Mark, what are some of the major reasons for bicycle and auto collisions here in San Diego?
Well, we see a variety of them, and most of the time, unfortunately, when we go out to investigate the crash, the bicyclist is the loser in the long run. In a lot of those cases, though, the bicyclist has been at fault for some sort of violation of the vehicle code. We're looking back and reviewing our data to find out what the violations are, where they're occurring, so we can then go out and do specific enforcement and education in those areas.
Is there sort of a map of sorts? Do you know where most of the collisions are occurring?
Well, they happen seasonally. I mean, during the summer and spring, we see an increase in and around parks, the beach, the Mission Valley, Fashion Valley. During winter, fall, we see they start to spike up on those egress roads in and out of downtown, the work areas, things like that. So we're starting to put a map together. We're just in kind of the basic area of getting it laid out right now.
What is the police department doing to sort of help make the roadways safer right now before even the law goes into effect?
Well, we're teaming with whoever we can, and we work along with the Bicycle Coalition, along with members of City Council to get some of the safety messages out. But we're going in our specialty in the enforcement realm. We've dedicated officers to go out on specific days and times when we have seen increases of bicycle collisions and sent those officers out to do education, enforcement, to be out in the community to try to prevent some of these from happening.
And Andy, what do you think still needs to be done to make San Diego roads safer for cyclists?
First and foremost, I think our built environment in our roadways, and there's some good signs there. There are things happening like adopting new roadway design guidelines that the city has recently undertaken that will allow them to get more innovative, safer treatments physically built on the road that will encourage more people to ride in a safer, separated facility than, say, your standard bike lane. So those are these things. The laws that we're talking about, those types of things too. And certainly doing more education and outreach for everybody, motorists and bicyclists, to ride safely out there is a third thing that we work on too.
All right. Well, there's a lot more on our website, kpbs.org. Andy Hanshaw and Officer Mark McCullough, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.